right, man. Back again for another win. Look at us, man. Look at us.
Woo, woo,
Hey, how you
woo.
feel? How you feel right now, bro? I'm
I'm
feeling
feeling
good.
great.
Yeah.
I feel. Wait, CP, it's not one, not two, but three times this Knicks team has scored over 130
Who
points.
are these guys?
Who are these guys indeed, man?
Who
Because
are
these
these
guys
guys?
are an offensive juggernaut. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'll even say this, though. I'll say this. Defense could have been a little bit better in the closing
Sure.
fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Could have
Yeah.
been a little bit better, all right? But you know what? I'll give it to them because they were trying out new things. They're trying to find everybody cutting. They were trying to take that offense to a whole other level. So the turnovers gave the Grizzlies a little bit more opportunities to get back into this thing. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, CP. How are you feeling?
Yo, I'm loving what I'm seeing for this team. You're seeing a focus and an energy from a team that they know what the goal is, and they are approaching this like professionals, like dogs, and just with the drive to just be better every game. And you can see it. You can see it in their poise. You can see it in their chemistry. You can see it in their communication. Today, once again, the ball movement, the drive and sprays, getting the open three-point looks, the ball movement once again. This is a consistent theme for Mike Brown's offense. This is no longer, hey, they having good games. No, this is a staple. Their identity is being established right now on the offensive end. So everybody's eating. And then Captain Clutch, from the beginning, you know when Cap is going to have a night like this. Because when he starts getting into his bag in the beginning, the whole arsenal comes out, all three levels, you're done. So great job by him with the 32 and 10. I love Mikal Bridges' effort out there tonight, man. Mike Brown talks about that next play speed. I mean, how many times do we see Mikal Bridges display that? He is the embodiment of what Mike Brown calls that next play speed, and I thought he had a big moment there in the fourth quarter when the Grizzlies were cutting it. They cut it down to about 12, and his play, his effort led to a Jalen Brunson 3, and the Knicks were able to get the stops and hit the clutch free throws to be able to seal the deal. So good squad effort there, man.
Great squad effort. I mean, who do you want to start with tonight, CP? Do you want to talk about
Yo,
Brunson? Do
let's
you
go,
want
Cap.
to talk about Bridges?
Let's go, Cap, man. We got to talk about Cap, the player of the game without a doubt. Give me your thoughts on Captain Clutch tonight, man.
Dude, I mean, this guy is just finding his rhythm. This guy came ready for the season. Like we talked about these last post-game, CP. We're talking about a guy who usually had like a slow start to the season. Now he's coming out guns ablazing. And CP, it's not only the scoring. We are so familiar with Brunson scoring on a night-to-night basis. I mean, what do he have? He had 32 points tonight, but it's not only the 32 points that he had, it's the 10 assists. He had a quiet double-double, in my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
looking at through this third quarter. I'm like, yo, Brunson's got 22 points and 10 assists already? What's going on here? Like, this is something that we saw that he was capable of doing last season, especially as he warmed up and he was like in mid-season form. But to be 10 games in? We're talking 10 games in. This guy is facilitating like no other. The playmaking looks like it's taken another step. He's playing off ball even better just because with Mike Brown wanting other guys to initiate the offense, trying to get Brunson better looks. And this guy is playing at a more efficient pace. I mean, this guy shot 58% from the field. We're talking about 11 of 19 going from the field tonight, CP. And Mike Brown's offense is getting him different looks just so that way the game is easier for him. And then on top of that, he's being unselfish. He's being unselfish.
Yeah.
He's finding his guys. How about every single time he's looking for Cat, he's looking for Bridges, he's looking for whoever is cutting that lane. That's why I said even in the fourth quarter when the Grizzlies got back into this, right? He's trying, man. He's saying, hey, let's just continue to work on the principles that Mike Brown wants us to execute on. Cat cut in the middle down the lane. Anybody, Josh Hart, doesn't matter who. OG. Even if those things didn't end up being a bucket, you're like, okay, I see what they're going for right now. This game got completely out of hand for the Grizzlies, right? Knicks were just taking them to task, but at the end of the game, they're still trying to work on it. And we even when it got a little bit like, Grizzlies about to do whatever they're trying to do, Knicks were still in control. So I like everything that I'm seeing, and Jalen Brunson being at the head of it.
I mean, and in that light, when you see how they look on a night like tonight, it's a pick your poison situation. Number one, you have the equal opportunity offense. Okay, another night with 6 players in double figures. Their three-point shooting, they took 50-some-odd threes tonight. All right? They took 50-some-odd threes tonight and shot 40% from downtown, 22 or 55. They shot 40% from downtown. So you have that. You have the offensive rebounding factor. When you have a healthy Mitch, you have Josh, you have Karl Anthony Towns on the boards to get you second chance opportunities. And then when all else failed, yeah, the Grizzlies made their run. It is a game of runs. You got the NBA's Clutch Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
This is becoming a pick your poison type of team. It's early, and they say they're still getting it together, but they look fantastic right now, and there's a ways to go. But I'll tell you this, bro. As you said, second half, especially in the fourth quarter, I thought they got sloppy, and that allowed Memphis to get back into the game and gain confidence. But in that first half, their gap defense, the pressure in the passing lanes, it was ferocious, almost like a playoff game. And, you know, they're playing the Grizzlies. This is a team that's struggling. So this is, again, how they're approaching this game. Everybody's in the gap. You know, Clarkson, Josh Hart, OG and McCall. How many steals did these guys have again tonight? I mean, let's take a look at it. OG 2, Karl Anthony Towns 3, McCall Bridges 4 steals, Landry Shamet a steal, Josh Hart 2 steals. I mean, their defensive energy and pressure was phenomenal that they turned Memphis over 12 times in the first half and turned that into 19 points. And I thought, and overall, it became 22 turnovers, which led to 33 Knick points.
Dude, this team, I mean, look, by the end of the first half, it was 77-54. Another night, CP, where their defense translating to offense, right? Defense translating to offense. We didn't, last year's team wasn't great at defense. We know they were down in the basement. They were trying. You know, offensively, they came out hot to start. Then everything just started to slow down. Everything became a constant grind once the turn of the calendar year. This team, is just knows how to lock up jump passing lanes, as you're talking about, and get out in transition and take advantage of those opportunities. Yes, it's the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, it's the Brooklyn Nets. I get it. I get what people are saying. Let's go see this against a true team, all right? I get it. Let's go see this against another competent NBA team. We did this against the Timberwolves, so I'm not saying that we can't even do that. But they are building on it. They're taking advantage of it, and you're seeing what Mike Brown wants. He wants opportunistic defense. Do you have to lock up all 48 minutes? No. But you got to play smart and know when to attack and understand your opponent's weaknesses. And so far, for the last 3 games, the Knicks are exploiting the Timberwolves, the Nets, the Grizzlies. They're learning. They're coming prepared. They're doing whatever studying Mike Brown is telling them to. Because defensively, in order to jump passing lanes, you have to understand tendencies. And so they're learning the tendencies. Yeah. And when you start to see that, and you're starting to see that 77-54 difference in the first half, this team is not playing any games defensively, CP. And then when you join that with the offense, that's where this team is like, you have no idea. We're talking about 10 games in.
10 games
we usually
in.
say, yo, remember, under Tom Thibodeau, he'd always say, oh, give me 20 games, right? Analysts say, give me 20 games. Yeah. 10 games in, and this is what the Knicks are looking like? I don't know, man. The next 10 games might be even scarier for this league, man, for what the New York Knicks are capable of doing.
It's looking good, man, and it's really on the defensive side where I want to see them become elite. I think the offense will find its way, especially with Captain Clutch at the helm, but it's the defense, the defense, the way that they're locked in, their chemistry, and that they again, turning that into offense, getting off to the races, getting in their transition game. I thought it was phenomenal, and a lot of guys led the way in that regard. We talked about Jalen Brunson. I love McCall Bridges' game tonight. McCall Bridges now shooting 50% from 3 on the season. He was 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. He was all over the place defensively, and I love that sequence. I believe it was in the third quarter where the Grizzlies have a fast break, and they toss an alley. He breaks it up, comes back on the other side, and Brunson finds him cutting, and he catches like an alley-oop scoop layup. And again, that's that next play speed that Mike Brown is talking about. So, again, just a fantastic job by McCall Bridges tonight.
McCall Bridges, man, he looks so comfortable. So comfortable. I keep going back to this man. If I wish people were there, I wish everybody saw like how buddy, how chummy he was with Mike Brown, and you could see that Mike Brown was,
He didn't want to play
both.
for Tibbs, bro. He didn't want to
He
play for
didn't.
Tibbs, bro.
He didn't. No, and you see it right. You just see the way, like the happiness. I mean, come on. I'm still waiting for the Defensive Player of the Game award. He's front and center, being the guy who's honoring
I
this
think
man.
he's gonna get it. He's always next to the person. I think Mikal Bridges has to get it tonight.
In terms of the game, I thought, they looked excellent again, like a well-oiled machine. And I think, one of the previous callers, LD, mentioned, I was thinking the same thing. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the January 24 Knicks when OG first came over, the ball movement, and they were clicking on all cylinders. And they went 14-2 that month, and I think we're like 6-0 this month. I know 7-0 on the stand, but I think one of those games came in the end of October. I can't remember, or maybe it is 7-0 this month. But maybe they have a chance to get up close to 14 wins. I think they only play 14 games this whole month. They don't play 16, but they look great taking care of home court. Again, my big point when I called in last game was the fact that when the shots don't fall, like what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of saw a little bit of that in the fourth quarter. I thought the three ball wasn't falling like it was earlier on, and they brought Brunson in with like 9 minutes left, and like he kind of took us home. He
Yeah.
had some big shots, and I thought kind of he added a little bit of cushion, but overall. Oh, and then lastly, you definitely felt the no Mitch impact. By the way,
Mm.
like without another really center out there, man, there was no interior presence.
Yeah, with Yabusele out there can get a little bit tricky. But hey, well, we got Mitchie back against Orlando, man. Got Mitchie back against Orlando, man.
Yes, sir. That's up.
How about the defense? What you think about the defense tonight?
Oh, I mean, the defense overall, I thought was like it was okay through the first like 2.5 or so quarters.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like let go at the end. I still think the 3-point defense is a little bit sus. Like I thought they got some good looks. That was always an issue, kind of even last year. But I thought last year was more of a coverage thing. They just played drop all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I just think they were still just like today, just some open looks from three. I thought Memphis got hot in the end of the third quarter. But
Okay.
maybe I think besides that, tighten that up a little bit, and then when Mitch comes back, that'll take care of the interior, and I think they'll be all right.
I mean, our guys, they're playing at an elite level. I mean, to harp on the defense, you hear Jordan Clarkson speaking and talking about he's never played with wings as good as OG and Mikal and also having Mitch. When you have the defensive presence, which you have to give credit where it's due because Tibbs instilled that in them. And, Mike Brown is he's getting the fortune. He's getting the fortune of these guys being able to get on the basketball court, know each other on the defensive end, also bring in new additions to the team and get them to be up to par and what is needed for them to be on the court to play at a high level to not only get stops but in succession. So, looking at them play, looking at how they played today, they came out and they played the way how they're capable of playing. We had some lapses in the fourth quarter. Jalen was out, and then he came back in. We immediately took control of the game. But overall, this is the regular season. This is all fine tuning. This is making sure the brakes work, making sure all your spark plugs is all ready for the whole long haul. And now, we're in a position where as fans we feel like, oh, we're supposed to do certain things. It could be on any given night. It could be we go through a whole span where we lose 3 games. You can't jump off the ship after you lose 3 games. You
Yeah.
can't. I mean, everybody, now everybody trying to get back on the ship. Like, just stay patient, stay vigilant, and the understanding of how basketball operates and how it works. Because for us, we're watching. We can see when we're not playing well. We weren't playing good basketball on the road, but on the road is different. Those teams are playing at home like how we're playing right now. We're 7-0 at home.
Yeah.
So it's a great start. And it's the beginning of the year. So it's who can sustain during that 2025 game when you're at that mark. You'll be able to get a great sense of what kind of team you have. And with the addition, I call him the addition, Jordan Clarkson, having him, come to our team, it's like, you have a guy now who can score the basketball when the shot clock is going down. You don't got to just throw it to Jalen. Like Jalen can just chill in space and be a spacer now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it just makes our team stronger. It makes us better. Plus, Jalen is giving the ball up. He had 10 dimes tonight,
10
10 plus
dimes.
dimes tonight. Mike got them moving the basketball. As I said, we getting the basketball from side to side. If you can get the basketball from side to side, then get into a step up pick and roll with movement, with guys cutting back door. I mean, it just makes it extremely difficult to defend. And then they come down and they lock up.
Yeah.
That's that game speed that Mike was talking about.
Five straight games with 30 plus assists, and it's interesting. Though over the years since Jalen has been here, a lot of the questions has been about, do they have enough ball handlers and playmakers to help him? But as you said, with the ball moving side to side, I mean, you've seen OG get the paint touches, McCall, Josh, Carl, Jordan, Deuce. Everybody's driving and kicking, man. The ball
Hey,
movement's looking
you
great.
know, you know, if he headman the ball even more, he'll have more space to operate, opposed to passing the basketball when he's like at half court. Like if he just throw it ahead and then he'll get a layup
Mm.
speed cut without offense, it's gonna open it up and it's gonna space it and make it even. It's gonna make it even more attractive and it's gonna make it harder for the defense to defend because it's a long run. If somebody's all the way at the top at the wing. And you're cutting through going to the corner, the ball is going to come to the opposite side. So you don't even got to chase it. It's going to come. And the way how we're playing, you got Cat on one side, you got OG and Cat on one side. When those two guys on the same side, they can't just switch because normally it might be a guy that's smaller, on OG. So for Jalen, him passing the basketball the way how he's passing the basketball, finding guys, and us knocking down the three the way how we have been is going to be challenging to beat us.
Talk about the defense of the wings, man. I mean, yeah, second half, obviously, Memphis got back into the game. But first half, I mean, they turned Memphis over 12 times, 19 points. You had Mikal Bridges with 4 steals, OG with 2, Cat with 3. And talk about how the defense was looking from,
Deflections.
from your
You
from
know,
your
when
vantage
you
point.
you always can tell about your team as far as the activity, how active they are, by deflections. Deflections, charges, right? When you're able to stop the play and the ball go out of bounds, it go out on you, but they gotta start all over. Right now they got to run the out of bounds play, and then they got to get into something with the shot clock going down. Though that's challenging. You want to have a flow, so we were disrupting their rhythm as well. So
Mm-hmm.
when you disrupt their rhythm, you get in deflections, you get in charges, right? OGs stand in front of the basketball. We got somebody on the nail. We're dealing with guys learning a new system and how we play, but that old system is still in the works because it's stopping the basketball, stunt and rotate, run guys off the 3-point line, no middle drive. Like all of these different things are happening. So when you can see this when you're watching our team, so you know that that's the same system that was in place from last year, now mixed with the ball moving from side to side, guys are touching it. So when Jalen gets the basketball, everybody already moved around and everybody's after he get it back the second and third time,
It's
it's
crazy.
too hard to guard.
Yes,
Absolutely.
got
But
that.
Steph, I got a question for you. How does the team get better at generating those steals? Like what preparation does the team have to go into in order to do that?
You just get deflections, and then when you have guys that like those guys are, you can tell they aren't used to playing with each other because Ja had the ball one time. One time the kid he should have just stayed space. If Ja goes to the
When they
basket,
threw
you
threw
got
it out,
he
threw
threw
it
it
out.
out of bounds, and he
Yeah.
was telling him, "Yo, what are you doing? You stay there. You're the shooter." Right? Basically, like that right there, you can see that they don't have that team camaraderie as far as on the court, as far as knowing each other. They're still learning each other. They're still going over plays that they don't know. So you can see that when you watch them play because they got different guys and then they got young guys. But at the same time, you know, our disruption from how we play defense is high level because we know how to get in you. We know how to play Eastern Conference style basketball defensively. We know how to play the round before that. We know what it takes to get those stops. So everything that went on in playoffs, it's all carryover right now going into this season after losing. So you know what you need to do now when you get in the Eastern Conference Finals. You have a feeling of how you felt from losing and also from the experience that you had from playing inside of the Eastern Conference Finals.
How about the big bodega, man? 20, how
Forget
many
about
points
it.
he had tonight? He had 13 rebounds. He had 20 some odd points. But I love the
Consistency.
passing. I love the passing out of that high post, man. And even though
Consistency.
he only logged like 4 dimes, I thought with the hockey assists, he probably had like 8, 10. He was good tonight.
100%. Consistency. He's at the level. Like he has some games where he didn't play as well as we know he's capable of playing. And by him not playing the way how we all know he's capable of playing, people start it started noise started to come out. And he's aware of the noise just like everyone else is aware of the noise. You can't run from it. That's why you got to make it quiet. And that's what he's doing right now. He's making everybody who was saying whatever they were saying basically be quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's basketball. It's the beginning of the year. If you're thinking guys are going to come out, some guys going to start out right, some guys aren't. The guys that started out had 3, 4 good games. They probably not having good games right now, and their team is probably losing, right? But how do you get back into the swing of things? He got back into the swing of things quick. The Garden to do that.
The Garden will do that. And shit, man. Cap 32-10. Cap is in his bag. You saw the one where he hit my man with the Euro step where they closed out on him on the
Everything,
corner three. The
everything,
whole Arsenal came out tonight, man. The whole
everything.
Arsenal.
His jumpers, when they was going swish, the net was popping up. Word up.
It's just one of those nights. You can kind of tell when Cap is gonna
Yeah.
have those nights, man. You you
Yeah,
could
it's
you could tell.
often.
You could tell. Yeah,
It's often. You gotta remember he's gonna get 5 to 6 rebounds just when they take free throws and a guy miss.
yeah, yeah,
Some just gonna go to him. He's gonna get some putbacks. That's 8 right there.
yeah. You always talk about that shooter's bounce. He had it tonight.
100%.
He
Because
had it
shooters
tonight.
shoot and he can shoot. So you want to let him do what he do. And that's what he doing. Like you gotta have Cat gives Jalen balance and Jalen balances Cat out.